Hey, welcome back to my channel again today, guys. In today's video, I will be covering my BLADEMASTER build that I use for clearing out testing station 195, otherwise known as the Poison Lab. I'll be going over the skills, techniques, the armor, weapons, as well as the boss fight itself in detail on how you can defeat this boss using only melee. I know some of you guys don't really like using range in this game, so I want to provide an alternative instead of using the perforator or triple shot to use only a melee weapon. So if that's calling out to you, this video is for you. So let's dive right into it. Let's start off by going through the equipment, guys. The first thing you'll probably notice is that we're not really rocking a lot of other weapons besides a shotgun for the poison lab. The shell burster in particular is the one we're going to want to carry. This is to clear out the poison clouds that spawn throughout the dungeon, both at the boss, but also from the spores littered throughout the lab itself. So if you run into one of those, back up out of the range of the AoE blast and shoot the shell burster shot at the poison cloud. That'll clear out the clouds for you. We're also going to be using a replica pulse sword for this run today. Typically, you want to run any melee weapon does not have a dot damage associated with it when you're trying to tackle the boss. Otherwise, you'll interrupt crowd control, such as compel or stop or any of the other abilities that will provide a stun. So stick to using the replica pulse sword, leech's maw, static needle, any of the weapons that basically don't have a dot on them. And when I say dot, I mean damage over time effect. So branding blade, burning blades, helix pick, all of those have a poison or fire dot. So it's going to provide a status effect on the boss that's going to basically shrug off a stun for a long period of time. So you're going to get less swings off on them. Same for ads. So just keep that in mind. Moving on to our equipment over here, guys, you're going to notice that we have a full set of full forge armor minus the leggings, where we're going to run X-Core leggings. As for the augments, we are going to be running double augmented blade mitigation. You're going to see on the stats over there that I have 15.5% mitigation just for the helmet alone. So we're stacking out a lot of blade mitigation for this boss. And the reason behind that is that his knee charge is classified as blade damage, so at a high level, even if we get hit, we're not going to get one shot down. Combine that with having 100 combat, we're getting a lot of damage mitigation for this boss, so the goal of it is to stay alive, and even if we make mistakes, we're able to mitigate that damage. So as far as the utility tool, you can use a Young Sparky, an accelerator pack, or just a regular Mark 6 power pack. It's not really going to matter too much. And if you're just starting out and trying to clear this dungeon on a lower level, you can still use a Mark 5 or the equivalent for Mark 5. A full suspensor belt is the one we're going to be running today, guys. This is for mobility. It's the best to use for this dungeon, as well as just for, with suspensor dash. You're going to see a tier 6 adaptive ultimate shield, and that's going to be it for our equipment setup. As for our abilities and techniques, let's dive right into which ones we're choosing for both the boss fight and also for ad clearing. When we're clearing the lockout rooms, we're going to be using either knee charge or crippling strike. Whichever one you prefer, you can slap on the bar. For this run, I'm going to be using knee charge for the extra mobility, but crippling strike is also a really great option that it provides just as much value, if not more, if you're in a group and you have to deal with multiple ads on you at the same time. Weirding Step is going to be our go-to for being a gap closer with the ads and the lockout rooms. It provides a great stun to get our slow blades off our blade, so keep that on your bar. And then finally, we're going to use Compel as well, which is going to be really good for taking out those heavies and also for the boss, of course. But the reason why we have Compel on our bar is because you can get typically 3 slow blades off on a heavy when they're in a stun lock from Compel, and you can usually finish them off before they actually do any damage to you. So as far as our techniques go, there's going to be some variations to this depending on the level of the lab you're trying to clear, as well as if you're trying to speed run, if you're trying to get more mobility or sustain. For this build, I'm going to be running Center of Mass, the best technique in the game currently for most of these builds. Manipulate Instability to get more damage on our heavy attacks when an enemy is stunned, and also our slow blades, and Suspensor Dash. We might, in the event If we're taking a lot of poison damage from the boss and we can't clear the cloud, we're going to use Reckless Lunge. But typically, you really don't need to run Reckless Lunge unless you're doing above a level 40 lab or at level 40. Um, Below that, it's not really going to be that much value for you. So those are our abilities and techniques. Let's get right into the actual skills themselves. Uh, Going over to our trooper tree, we're going to have center of mass level. We're going to have field maintenance at level 3. We're going to have Suspenser Dash. I put a point into Suspenser Efficiency. This is completely optional. If you plan on doing other content besides this lab as a Blade Master, you can definitely put more points into this. Same thing goes for Sugar Wire. Sugar Wire is great for mobility, and that combined with Suspenser Efficiency is going to provide you a lot of value. So don't sleep on that if you are going to do other content besides the Poison Lab with this build. Moving on to our Mentat tree, we're really only putting points into Garment Keeper. We're not doing any range damage for this build, so we're going to just stick to that for these trees. For the Planetologist trees, we're only going to put points into Overcharge at level 3 and Rerouting at level 3. Outside of that, everything else would be optional, guys. So if you want to put points into Vehicle Repair or Fuel Efficiency, definitely slot those in. But it's not really needed for this build if you're just clearing the dungeon itself. Um, as far as the Bene Gesserit trees, we're putting a point into Weirding Step. We're getting 3 points into Manipulate and Stability. We're putting points into Blade Damage for our passive. We're also going to be using Voice Training as well as Compel. We have points into Self-Healing, Poison Tolerance, Vitality, and Recovery. Now, optionally, you can put more points into Poison Tolerance, but since we're already wearing Forge Armor, it's kind of overkill, especially if you don't have all the points unlocked yet for having Hunter Combat. It's completely optional if you wanted to put more points into that. Same goes for some of the other stuff over here. You don't have to put 3 points into Recovery as well. That's just helpful to have. Moving on to our Blade Master trees, we're putting 3 points into Long Blade damage. We're putting points into Blade damage, Reckless Lunge, as I mentioned before, 3 points into Confidence, 3 points into Solid Stance, and then we're going to finally do a point into Crippling Strike, General Conditioning, Field Medicine, Optimized Hydration, Inspiration, and Knee Charge. So the reason why we have points into Inspiration, guys, is because we're going to be using this for the boss fight. So getting back to our abilities over here, for the boss itself, we're going to be switching out Weirding Step for Inspire. We're going to be holding on to Knee Charge and keeping Compel. Inspire is going to give us that extra melee damage when we're taking swings at the boss. It's going to speed up our DPS and speed up the clear itself, especially when we're spiced up. So it's really useful to have. But those are the abilities and skills, guys, that we're going to have for this run. Next up, I'm going to show you some footage of me doing a level 40 clear for the Poison Lab using this build and this loadout, and we'll see how it goes. Alright, all. For this clear, we're going to be doing level 40. You're going to see me comment a little bit on some of the techniques I use to clear this lab pretty quickly. We're not going for a world record or anything here, but we're going to be going at a pretty brisk pace. As you can see, I have Lunging Strike equipped, Center of Mass, and we have Manipulate and Stability for our techniques equipped right now. And for our abilities, we're going to be using Compel, Weirding Step, Knee Charge. You can switch out, as I mentioned before, Lunging Strike for Suspenser Dash if you want some more mobility. In this case, I just kept Lunging Strike on the bar from a previous run. For the first room, you're going to want to Compel the ranged enemy and Weirding Step onto the melee enemy. This is going to give you enough time to get swings on the ranged enemy, and ideally take him down in 2 to 3 hits. For the Lockout room, I'm typically going to be calling the ranged enemy, 30 step the melee enemy. Gives me enough time to take out both of them. Even if I get a couple miss swings in, I can still take out both enemies pretty efficiently.
Shields up!
If you guys can't two-shot the heavy, I would usually use Compel or Liberated Step when taking out those enemies, Lockout rooms. But if you can, definitely use Liberated Step as well, especially with Long Blade. Notice I want to take steps back when he's gray barred. When he's gray barred up like that, after he's got staggered too much, he's going to be invulnerable to any more staggers. So typically I'm going to try and not fight and do damage. When he's doing that, just draw him back in.
Yes! Charge me up! All choked up?
Now, it's a little bit glitchy over there at the moment with that NPC. Hopefully they're going to fix that at some point, but sometimes the NPCs glitch out over there.
you! Oh, yes, that's what I need. Yes!
Stand fire, Tim.
All choked up? Ha ha! Bombs away!
You can see, typically you'll get one shot if you don't have blade of negation on the armor like I did right there. Definitely saved my ass, so just keep that in mind. Definitely pays off when you're making mistakes.
Grenade out! Feeling gassed, are we? Ha ha! Lightweight!
Welcome to Imperial Testing Station 1. Cargo is on.
Thanks for tuning in today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm curious, for all those that were watching today, what your favorite build is. Do you like to run melee? Do you like to run ranged? I'd love to hear your comments in the video below. And please feel free to like and subscribe. I'd love to grow my channel and put out more videos like this and see that you guys are enjoying it. I hope you got some value out of it today. And take care of yourself. Enjoy.